Good morning. Happy Friday. So let's chat about something I was just thinking about. Okay. Okay. So I changed a bunch. Like I transformed. Like me in 2019. Let me just give a visual. And I'm actually doing this for the first time myself, so it should be fun. I was church going, not cussing a bunch, doing a whole lot of caring for other people, my family, my friends and stuff. And I can look back now and see that I was like I took care of our emotional situations because I'm a nurturer. So if you come to me with anything, and I'm a solutions person. So if you come to me, we definitely going to sit and talk it through. I'm going to hear you out so you're heard, and you're going to express your emotions, and you're going to become a little more spiritually well after having spent time with me. And likely you're going to feel better. Okay. But what I didn't know how to do was filter those emotions through myself. Like I was literally taking on other people's emotions and stuff, and worries and cares and stuff. And I didn't know how to release them. I have since learned to do that. And it's just simply, I release other people's energy. So if you feel like that could be helpful for you, then by all means, I release other people's energy because maybe you are the nurturer in your community, right? And so in 2019, also, like I said, church going, looking out for everybody and doing my thing, hair, nails, traveling, doing my thing with my boo, going out to eat, and just really kind of, if I can say it, living the matrix life. You have your house, your cars, your clothes, and all of these external factors, but I was lacking in internal joy and happiness. It's because I was just like taking on other people's problems. So it was really like crowding my brain as to whose problems it was. So it just was all mixed up. And so in 2019, I had a nervous breakdown in March, and then my hormones, there was an imbalance there. So my energy level just like plummeted. Like I didn't have the energy that I used to have. So therefore, I couldn't show up in places the way I used to. I couldn't be the person that I used to. As though I tried, that shit was wearing me out. Okay. Because what I realize now is all these people were coming to me, but I didn't have anybody to go to. I didn't have an outlet for me to be able to successfully purge all of what was going on. So it just really built up in me, being a people pleaser and all. I was just trying to be there for everybody and then trying to prove myself, and just a lot of toxic traits and patterns that were going on. And so my health, whenever something's going on that I need to make changes, it shows up in my health. And these last few episodes with my health has really scared the fuck out of me. And it really made me get that I can't be the same person that I was. I can't be that person who just let people treat me any kind of way and let it slide because I was stuffing my emotions. I had a lot of anger and rage stuff because I've had some unfair treatment in my inner circle and outer circle. And I just didn't know how to purge it. I didn't know how to release it. I didn't know how to talk to them about it effectively, you see, because I'm not the kind of person that just talks for no reason. Like I talk for a solution. And when I would talk to people, I didn't see where they cared. So I stopped. It's like, why am I going to voice, my grievances with them? And they are literally giving me the body language and everything that they don't care. So I stopped talking, but I never stopped being the person that was talked to, because you're supposed to love people unconditionally and you're supposed to be there. And I judge people, but I was not receiving that unconditional love in return. And I was nurturing quite a large, substantial community. And so, as things went on, I started downsizing. Like intuitively, I started making moves for my survival. And so, when I did that and started creating boundaries and stuff, like people in my inner circle got really upset with me, really. And I felt guilty because I had been this person for them. How do I just decide not to be? But what I understand now is it was literally taking me out. Like my if I had to look at my life force level, it was very low. And I don't think any of us know how close, well, my husband, how close we were to losing me. Like I've really been choking that down, that me being the person I was it had become so toxic that it was taking time off of my life. And so as I started transforming and stuff, I started speaking out and learning emotional intelligence and feeling more comfortable with speaking my truth. So I started speaking to those around me about what was going on. Like I knew I was making major changes and I knew that it would majorly affect them. So I talked through it with them. I did. I let them know where I was, and because I'm doing things differently, I'm speaking up in ways I never did, and I'm just doing life differently. And I felt it fair to let the people know that it would impact the most what was going on. Well, in doing so, that still doesn't seem to be satisfactory for some people. You know, like some people, it's just like, no, you got to be who you've been to me or nothing at all. That's what it seems like. It seems like I'm trying to be controlled. Like people want me to be who they envision me to be instead of loving me for who I am and celebrating the change that I'm making because it literally saved my life, right? So before I was going to church, I don't go to church no more because I don't like it. I never really did. I like the choir, but the word always was just given in such a way that it was so condemning that even if I wasn't guilty, I felt guilty when I left church. And then when you sit in church next to people and it's time to like greet your neighbor and people don't want to greet you because they racist, I didn't feel comfortable in church no more because these people ain't on the same accord as me. I'm here to love and fellowship and you know all of that good stuff. But there were other agendas going on that made me feel uncomfortable, and I'm an empath, so I can feel the energy. I can feel it. I was uncomfortable. So when the pandemic hit, it was like, oh, cool. It was a way out for me because I felt guilty for not going to church because I got to go to church. I got to be this person that I've been. Oh, I started toking because it helped with anxiety. And so now it's like I really just live a chill life. I'm not doing all the stuff I used to do, hitting the malls and traveling and stuff, because I really like being at home. So I understand I've done a 180. Okay. I've done a whole 180. And probably the people in my circle, they just don't recognize me because God let me know that I've been of great influence and people have set up their lives in accordance to how I was doing life. But now that I've changed life, they kind of like lost. And I'm like, well, was you more in love with the lifestyle or was it me? Because if you was rocking with me, you would be like, oh, you on authenticity now, living life the way you want to, and it make you happy. I would think that would be better than living a lifestyle from the Matrix. It's better for me. But maybe for those who are still in that realm and want to be, but then they confused because they was looking to me for influence and guidance to say, okay, this is gonna be my next step. They don't know their next step because I done pivoted to something totally different for my own well-being, which is my business, right? Like I love being an influence in this world. I love what it does and stuff like that. But when I change to something that don't register with you, you can't control me. You can't make me be who you want me to be. I heard like somebody praying for my soul. Like a message came in, like, I'm praying for your soul. Please don't. Don't pray for me. Not in a way that you want me to turn into who you want me to be. If you pray for me, pray for my overall well-being and that I'm okay. And not that I'm not lost nowhere. I'm found. I'm more found than ever. Okay? And I see from observing things, this isn't like the norm, like living this way and culturally and then the social, the conditioning and the programming and stuff. What I'm doing just totally goes against that. And so people gonna frown upon me, they're gonna judge me and all this stuff. It's a lot of things I know that people say about me that they don't know I know because they don't know that in this journey, in this path that I've taken, I've connected more with myself. So my spiritual gifts, my senses have really heightened. And I'm really ashamed of some of you and some of the things that you've done and some of the things that you've said about me, the ongoing conversations about me. It's taken away from your own life. Okay? Because I'm over here living my life and I'm happy and I'm in peace with what I'm doing. But you're not in peace with what I'm doing, and you're gonna have to ask yourself why. Why do you care so much about what I'm doing? How does that affect your life? What does it matter what it looks like? If you don't like what I'm doing, leave me the fuck alone. For real. You don't have to spend your life talking about me. But do what you want because that's your business. That's your business. But I'm going to continue on the path that I'm on because it works for me. And I encourage, like, if you're listening to this and you're like transforming and wanting to make changes, but you just can't because it's not like acceptable in your community, you're gonna have to say fuck them. Because at some point, like, your spirit is just gonna keep nagging it, like, I don't want to say nagging, alerting you that you need to make change for your well-being. Okay, this ain't just, oh, I can keep living life the way I'm living. No, because it's going to affect you physically in some kind of way. Because if your soul ain't happy, it's gonna uproot everything. Trust me, I know. Okay. And sometimes that means getting the fuck away from people you've been around for a long time. It's acknowledging that they ain't giving you what you're giving them. And then being empowered in that to say, I'm doing this for me. They living their life how they want to live and doing what they want to do, ain't making no changes or nothing considering me. So I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to return that same energy that they're giving me. It's a hurtful thing when you look at your life and you see that your relationships have not been reciprocal, that you have been giving, 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 and giving, and you ain't been receiving shit. It is a hard thing to take in, but it's a thing that need to be taken in so that you can make the changes for you. Because do they deserve you? Do they deserve all the nurturing and love and care that you have to give? The thoughtfulness? See, what I had to do was look at the people who was giving me what I was giving them and focus my energies there. And it feels a lot better. It really does. That's what I feel is my soul tribe. Okay. Even though some are blood family, but that's still soul tribe because we really vibe. We care about each other. We're not selfish. Like when we ask each other, like, how you doing? We stop and listen for the answer. Because I was giving out a lot of how you doings and I was listening, but wasn't nobody asking me how I was doing. Ain't nobody care about my well being. And I guess it's because maybe I look like I was all right all the time. But if you like what I'm giving you, why wouldn't I like it in return? It's something to think about. Like, people really have the nerve, the audacity continues to be at an all-time high. It really does, because to think that you can control me or tell me that I'm making a wrong move for my life when no, I'm not. I'm in peace. I have no threats on my life, nothing. Everything's great for me. It's just that I'm not living life the way others think that I should. I'm not the visual of what they think I should be because I take pictures and post with my bone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fun. It's fun. I cuss a lot now. I do. I fucking love it. Because I'm authentically expressing myself. Because before, when I didn't do it, it was because of what other people, what would they think of me? And I'm so done with living my life that way, of thinking about what other people think of me. I don't care anymore. I don't. And if you don't vibe with my way of life, you have absolutely every right to go ahead and let me go. For real, let me go. Do what is best for you. I always say that. Do what is best for you. And if I'm not best for you no more, then by all means, do what you need to do for you. Okay? Because that's what I'm doing for me. I'm going to continue doing it, but it's getting stronger because it is a process. You can't go from carrying on 1,000 to not giving a fuck at zero overnight. But with every experience that I have and every download that I get and every piece of information I hear about what somebody's saying about me, it helps. It helps a lot. I remember a while ago, I got this download. God said, people want to think you're a witch. And I see why now. Because when these senses heighten, boy, oh boy, you be tuned into some conversations that be miles away, right? And I didn't know this, but I'm learning this about myself. So maybe you learn about your spiritual gifts too. And so your senses are going to heighten. So your ears, they hear, but they hear deeper. Like, this is what I'm experiencing. And it go right to my heart. So when I hear hurtful things being said about me, untruths, for real, it go right to my heart and that shit hurt. but I'm gaining strength so it don't, because I don't want to take that shit personal. It's not. It has everything to do with that person and that conversation, because I don't sit around talking bad about people. I speak my truth and I keep it moving. How you choose to live your life is how you choose to live your life, because you know what's best for you. I don't. I don't. Unless you hurting yourself or hurting others, I ain't got nothing to say about your way of life. And I ain't hurting nobody. Just some feelings. But that don't have to be. That's their choice, not mine. I'm literally hurting somebody's feelings for living life the way I want to. And the fact that it don't look like the matrix. It don't look like who I've been. I have the right to change. And so do you. So it's just interesting. It's just real interesting, this whole thing of change and transformation. It's a lot going on in the world, and worlds are being split up. When I think about worlds, I think about me as an individual and another person. Like worlds are being split up. Like the new earth, it's being split up because people like me, we taking our energy back and putting it in the places that is reciprocated. And so you got a lot of narcissistic ass people out here that's like they lost, so they're gonna become more lost because those nurturing places that they had to go to, they wised up and said, "You keep taking from me, and so I'm not going to keep giving because then I'm gonna be the fool." And then you gonna be sitting like, "Oh, she acting crazy, she acting funny." Nah, I'm doing me differently in a way that don't benefit you emotionally because I needed it, I want it, I deserve it. So even you have to get down and lay down. For real. If you've been influenced by me in your life and now I've made a change that is hard for you to make a change, figure it out. Because I have.